Welcome to Papa Junk Shop. Well, LiPuls, however you say it, sent me an email and wanted to know if I would check out one of their chargers for them. So it arrived today. So let's open her up and see what we got. This is going to be for a 48 volt, 51.2 volt. Which quite often are used in the golf carts, but my application, I use it for my off-grid solar system. So I pulled my LiPuls battery out of my system so we could use it to test this charger out. Looks like it's packed pretty decent. And this came from Amazon, so I'll have a link in the description and stuff if you guys want to check it out. We got an operation manual, intelligent charger. Okay, there is some technical parameters there. Okay, so that's pretty simple. I'm going to shut you guys down. I'm going to take a look at this so I know what I'm doing. So I'll be right back. Well, looking at the manual, there's a few things in here that probably should be mentioned. It has output over voltage, over current, short circuit protection, reverse connection protection, anti-back charging function, input under voltage function, and voltage limit protection, temperature protection. So it's got lots of protections. And it's all aluminum everywhere. Bottom, the only plastic parts is the handle, I believe, is plastic. And of course, you know, your input and output connections. Cords, got some nice Velcro straps on them if you don't want to have a lot of extra cord hanging around. And let's see, 58.4 volt, 18 amp golf cart smart charger. Of course, I'm going to use it on my off-grid system. So a lot of guys use these and like them. So we have an indicator light right here, which will tell us the status of the charger. And if it's flashing red, means it's waiting. Flashing red green. Okay, if it's flashing red, it's less than 80% full. If it's flashing yellow, it's over 80% full, and when it reaches 100%, the green light will stay on. So let's get her plugged in. See how she does, and I'll get my clamp meter to confirm the output. And let's see, the leads, get the Velcro off here. Okay, without a ruler, that's got to be pretty close to 4.5, 5 feet. And you do have a junction here on the output lead. So if you had it in your golf cart, you could mount this in there, have this stay with the golf cart, have your charger mounted on the wall or wherever you'd like, and then just hook this back in when you want to charge. And looks like it has a gasket in there. I don't know if you can see it. So it is weatherproof, and it can only go one way. So that's kind of a nice feature. So let's get her plugged in and see how she does. Okay, got her hooked on the battery. The ring terminals work good for the M8 bolts. They were perfect size. So I'm going to plug her in we're going to watch this light here. It should be flashing red, green, I do believe, and then switch to red. Okay, so she's on, and just like it says here, flashing red, less than 80%. So my battery should be down fairly low. We haven't had any sun for about a week now that amounts to anything. I've only been able to get up to in the 40% range, so, and it's morning time, so I'm guessing that this battery is probably around 20% or so. So, gonna let her go. I'll come back and check once in a while. We'll see how warm it's getting. And the fan is not obnoxiously noisy. My microphone's maybe a foot away from it, so that'll give you an idea. But when I did, the cord is 16.3. The output cord doesn't have any markings on it, but I would guess it's probably a number 12. But, you know, that's just a guess, so. And the clamp meter says it's an 18 amp charger, and the clamp meter says 18.9. So it does the full value plus a little more. So everything's looking great so far. We'll be back in a little bit, see how she's doing. Now it's been 3.5 hours probably. We're still going. We're starting to drop off now. We're down to 14.9 amps. So I'm thinking this thing should be turning yellow here pretty quick. And the amperage is dropping. We're down to 13.7. Yep, she turned yellow. And I'm using the Overkill app. It says we're at 100%. You can see the amperage is going down. So we're coming into the final stages. And this LiPuls battery's been excellent. It's got 115 cycles on it now. Been running it since January 29th, 2025. So about, what, 10 months. So we ought to be getting the green light here pretty quick. Well, we're toggling between 58.4, 58.41. We're down to 4 amps, 4.3 amps. So we're coming in home stretch. Okay, she just shut off. The resting voltage is 58 point. Now it's going down, just as usual, once it stops charging. So, it did just like it was supposed to. Got to a certain point, stayed up real good to a certain point, and then once it got near full, it started tapering back and letting everything balance out. Shut off for just like it says, 58.4. So I'm thinking she's a good one. Oh, and I did scratch a little spot down there in that handle, and it is metal. Earlier I said I thought maybe that was the only plastic thing on there, except for these electrical items, but it's not. That's aluminum too. So she's really built good and rugged. And temperature stayed nice and cool. Of course, it's only, what, 55 degrees in here. but it stayed cool. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It seems to be a good charger to go along with a good battery. I'm impressed with the battery also. So the LiPuls 58.4 18 amp charger did exactly like it said it was gonna do. So whether you got a golf cart or off-grid system and want to use it for that, should be an excellent choice. Never missed a beat. Good and solid, no plastic. I think it's great, and I think I got a spot on the wall in my system where it's going to be. So I'm going to leave some links in the description where you can check out one of these. Not sure. I think I'm going to have some codes for you, but we'll see. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.